and I am back in the saddle of my Chevy, which after even after a long holiday weekend and heading to Las Vegas for a conference, the work week was crazy, as most work weeks go after you've taken time off. And since I didn't rent a car while I was out of town, there's nothing more liberating or relaxing for me than to pack some snacks and grab a book and a journal and take a road trip. Find a beautiful spot to hang out and sit. I'm re-recording this only because a family is about half a block that way and had two enormous dogs that were charging towards me, barking, and the Scotty was growling. So that one wasn't enormous though. Since I'm a small, mature woman and sitting here and didn't know if it was going to bite me, I wanted to keep it raw and unedited, though my mic wasn't working. So as I was reviewing, I thought, well, brilliant. There's me gesturing, and I am new to YouTube. Happy to be here. Thank you for watching. And today I want to talk to you about how we show our minds some love, how we protect our brains and support that cognitive aspect of our wellness as we get older. And one of the ways that I do that is that I take a drive. I am a desert dweller. I have lived in an arid, high altitude climate my entire life. Today is a mild day for the desert. It's in the low 80s today, and it's lovely. There's some white fluffy clouds in the background, a teeny tiny bit of a breeze. It's absolutely beautiful. If anyone knows me or knows this part of the country, maybe you can figure out where I am. Do you think you know where I am? Put it below. Two of the other things that I like to do to protect my brain, and perhaps you do as well, are to read and to journal. As a writer, I write. And I honestly prefer paper and pen, paper and pencil. That is my preferred method. I am a note taker. I scrawl and I write what looks like gibberish, and it makes complete sense to me. Are you a writer? Do you like to journal? Do you like to free write, type, write poetry? Tell me, what's your thing? The other goodie you may have seen in the thumbnail, oh, I am reading the original Frankenstein. As often as I have seen so many versions, especially the classics, I nerd out on the old sci-fi. If anyone knows who Svengoolie is, you'll know the type of spooky sci-fi flicks that I like. I picked this up in a very unique bookstore in Maine earlier this year while I was on a cruise from Boston to New Brunswick. Had never been to that side of Canada, and one of our ports where we actually had to take a tender in, there was a teeny tiny little bookstore. I was one of the first people in the shop, and the woman who owned the store was so charming and was giving me a tour of her delightful little space and showing me the coffee station. And right next to the coffee station, as I was browsing, she said, "Push on the wall." And I thought, oh, I'm intrigued, so push I did, there was a surprise door, secret door. It took me into the banned book room. And there was this book. It was a beautiful, had lovely antique lights, little cushions on the floor. I hung out in there for a while with a cup of coffee and did some reading and brought this baby home with me. Because of the time period and the fact that Mary Shelley, the author, was such a young woman and quite a learned woman, I've always been intrigued by women in history that aren't spoken about enough. So as I'm reading this, I'm doing an extra bonus for my brain, and that is to read one chapter at a time, and I read it out loud. That helps me to wrap my head around the way she writes and the language of the time period, and to also give me an opportunity to vocalize, because as a mature adult who lives alone, as much as I'm all about talking to myself, I like me. Though sometimes my voice will get kind of cracky because I don't talk as often, and certainly not in a conversational. So it's fun for me to read. And in my work with a local health department, I work with young families and help their small children get prepared for kindergarten. And one of the things that, of course, we are doing are reading. What do you read? What are your favorite types of books? I don't often read fiction. I like nonfiction. I like biographies. This has been a real treat for me. And the fact that there's a foreword in the book written by Mary Shelley. One of my goals for this year was to be able to read one book per month. I tend to jump around from book to book, so I haven't quite met the goal, though. Maybe counting all of them that I'm dipping around in, I'll modify my goal and say I've met it, kind of. Investing in our health in this way, showing our brains some love, is a way to stay sharp. It's a way to invest in our entire scope of mental health and well-being. The fact that I'm outside in a beautiful desert area with a little bit of sunshine. I like my vitamin D. I get moderate amounts of sunshine every day. There's a slight breeze, and this is lovely. It's an opportunity for me to take better care of myself, since conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia do run in my family. And anything that I can do that would prevent those horrible conditions from showing up in my life, that's worth investing in. Tell me what you're doing for you. Tell me, are you doing crosswords? Do you like puzzles? What are the ways that you are supporting the health of your mind? I would love to hear it. I'm going to drop some information in the description and a link to my website. I'm the founder of Anderson Therapeutics. I have an entire website with tips and resources and tools for mature adults who are looking to better manage chronic conditions and be a more active participant on their journey to improved health. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your day.